It's Saturday the 12th of January 2019, and today I just wanted to talk about one aspect of being a Bond fan in the 21st century, which is this. We don't get very many Bond films these days. If you think back to the 1960s, over basically it was a 10-year period for Sean Connery when he was Bond on and off. He was Bond for about 7-8 years out of all that, maybe 6 or 7, and he made a total of 6 films for Eon Productions, and which works out at a pretty good ratio if you think about it, especially those early ones when they were making one every year. Roger Moore was Bond for 12-13 years. He made a total of 7 Bond films, and again that works out at slightly more than 1 per year, so that's a really great average. Move ahead, we'll skip George Lazenby and Timothy Dalton. Tim Dalton was actually Bond for about 8 years in total until he quit the role officially, so even though he made 2 films. So that doesn't really work out that well. Pierce Brosnan, he made 4, of course, over, how long was he Bond for? 10 years? So yeah, that's for, it's slightly less than 1 every 2 years. And then we get to the Daniel Craig era, where larger gaps tend to be the norm. Of course, there was a gap between Die Another Day and then to Casino Royale, which is 4 years. Then I think we all got quite excited because initially Quantum of Solace was supposed to be premiered 18 months after Casino Royale, so that was going to be a really fast turnaround. In the end, it was 2 years, but even 2 years would have been great if they'd kept that up. Sadly, MGM had problems. They went into bankruptcy. They were saved from bankruptcy, and Skyfall came out 4 years after that, and we had a 3-year gap to Spectre, and well, this time around for Bond 25 we're going to have slightly more than 4 years until it's released next year. So it's pretty difficult to deal with those gaps. I mean, the 2-year gap to Quantum of Solace was bad enough for me, I remember, but then it just gets really hard, and that's when all the fan communities start to get a bit tetchy, I think. So nothing we can really do about that, and the main reason I think is it's much more difficult to get films made quickly these days, or get them into production, because if you think about it, the budgets are huge and they can really make or break studios these days. You can't have too many big budget films that don't produce for the studio to be non-viable. And really, for me, I think we are really at the end of all this kind of studio system where they're betting the bank on just a handful of films every year. I've said it before, I will say it again, that the future of cinema really is in television. The Netflix and Amazon and Apple and various other non-traditional film studios will be producing either films or series that they will that may have a limited release at the cinema, and people still do enjoy going to the cinema, but it's going to be a much more niche thing, I think. So we'll see when that happens. I don't think it's imminent, but maybe it'll be 10 years, maybe 20, but it's going to happen. And for me, I think that Bond is headed for television in the long term. Maybe that is what will happen if Eon Productions sell the franchise, which has been rumoured for a while. Nothing seems to have happened with that at least there aren't any rumours about it happening, but you never know what's happening behind the scenes anyway. Daniel Craig is going to be hanging up his shoulder holster after Bond 25, almost certainly, so that it seems like it's a good opportunity to change. We'll see what happens, we'll see where it goes. Be great if they produced another film 2 years after that, but somehow I can't see that happening. I see a 4 or 5 year wait again. Okay, if you are listening to the podcast, then if you want to see what I'm doing, not very much today, I'm just sitting in my office, then it is jamesbonddossier.com/watch. If you can't stand my ugly face, then and just want to listen to what I've got to say, then it's jamesbonddossier.com/listen. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you've got any feedback, anything that you want to say, anything else you'd like me to cover, then if you listen to this podcast in Anchor.fm, there's an app, then if you look for 007 Dossier, then you will be able to leave some voice. You'll be able to leave a voice message as feedback. So I would love it if you were to do that, and anything good I will feature in the podcast stroke video cast, whatever I call it. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. Bye.